and see how we're doing it here and how things are progressing. If you haven't had a chance, go meet and talk with her. The Kaufman Foundation is a great group of folks that are dedicated to moving the needle in entrepreneurship, really in the United States, all over the world. So thank you so much for making the trip. We appreciate it. All right, are you guys ready to go?
Born ready, man.
All right, you guys remember how to welcome our presenters to the stage? Let's do this!
Thanks, Greg.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming out. We are Motivate Me. We're a startup from Start of the Week about 2 weeks ago. The team consists of myself, Patrick, 5 others are here in spirit for us. So what we do is we deliver personalized audio motivation on demand. So moving on, we found there's a big problem. People struggle with motivation. I mean, it said 86 through customer discovery, we found that 86% of people said they struggle with this. And 74% of people said they had to go out and actually search for motivation. There's not an easy way to go find that customized, tailored motivation just for you. So moving on, we think we have the solution. We want an online database that allows you to filter and search for something that's applicable to you. So if you want some motivation about maybe business, you want something 2 minute related and have high intensity. So instead of like sitting through a 60-minute clip, you find what's just right for you. So we want to have a bunch of curated content that makes it easily identifiable and accessible. So who would be using this? Our first customer segment is Entrepreneur Eddie. Everybody knows that running a business can be hard. By the beginning of the morning, you're feeling like king of the world. By the time you come home, you're a broken man. So you need a little pick-me-up. So we want this to be a platform to help you with extra pep in your step.
Our next customer segment is Fitness Freddy, or in this case, Kevin. He's the guy that goes to the gym, works out every morning, but he needs that extra motivation to keep going every day or put his feet on the floor when it's 32 degrees in his room. Our last customer segment is Smoking Jay Cutler. Those people that have vices, whether it be smoking or throwing interceptions. Those low points, when you get that craving to fall back into your old bad habits, you need that motivation to help you get through that part of the day.
So the value proposition we're offering the Entrepreneur Eddie is that when he starts his day out, he has a little extra, motivate him, try to get him in the office, out in the real world, take on those tough challenges.
Here's Kevin, 10 years later. He's moved to Russia, changed his name to Vladimir, now he's a power lifter. He uses Motivate Me to help him get into the gym and do all those power lifts. And then lastly, we've got Wolf of Wall Street. Here's Jay Cutler, turned his ways around, and he's now successful in business. He can avoid all those cravings like cocaine. So channels of distribution for Motivate Me is going to be a web application as well as a mobile application that will be hosted in the Android and Google App Stores. So competition. Currently, there are a bunch of other apps out there. You can go get daily quotes. You can get motivation. You can get those pretty pictures. They lay some nice words over them. And if you can find them, you can read them. Maybe that's good enough for you. With Motivate Me, we found that there's not a good place to just get that direct audio clip straight into your headphones to help you get past those parts. Some of these apps have over 1 million downloads. So we think that adding that customized audio will give us a leg up on the competition. So key partners. Not only is this for the people who need the motivation, there are tons of motivational speakers out there that produce this type of content that need a place to host it to reach a broader audience. So we plan to work with motivational speakers to host their content and help them reach more people. So our revenue model. So as key partners, they're the first app. We will have them pay a fee, a monthly fee, to put their content on our site. During our customer discovery, we actually surveyed over 40 motivational speakers. And what we heard back from them is that they don't currently have a really good way to actually push their content. We had one that was willing to sign up with us once we get this started. On the other side, we have the end user who's going to be using it at the gym, using it. Let's do it 7. And they need that extra motivation to keep going. It'll be a freemium type of model, so a free ad or a free app, and then it'll be ad-based, or you can pay a subscription to remove those ads and unlock additional features and content.
This is a quick little mock-up that we drew. So right here you see this is a landing page. You can create your account, you can log in, you can search for whatever you want. You have categories, channels, favorite settings. And then on the next screen, you just click on if you want some business related, This is what it looks like was actually listened to. And we're going to do a short little demo. Demonstrate how the web application works.
So this is our website. You come here. In the demo, we're looking for different categories of motivation. We're going to go to business. We're going to go 2 minutes. We're just going to listen to a short clip.
My father had been a great comedian, but he didn't believe that that was possible for him. And so he made a conservative choice. Instead, he got a safe job as an accountant. And when I was 12 years old, he was let go from that safe job. And our family had to do whatever we could to survive. I learned many great lessons from my father, not the least of which is that you can fail if you don't. So you might as well take a chance on doing what you love.
We are Motivate Me, and we aspire to inspire. Thank you.
Tim has to go to a job interview, so I'm going to. He doesn't think Motivate Me is going to secure his future, I guess. So, questions, comments, concerns? Some of you have seen this before. Start.
Patrick, explain to me with the Jim Carrey clip there that you just used. What are those what are the rights, the intellectual property rights to that kind of thing?
That's a great question. So I don't have the full answer, so I'm going to give you what I do know. In a lot of cases, when you cite the source and you use less than the full clip, you can go ahead and do that. We also plan to pay license fees for those large, well-known speakers to use their content. So we had Tony Robbins earlier. We would every time a royalty type of model, similar to what Pandora or Spotify would do. Those larger speakers, so people would actually pay to use their content. For everyone else, they'll be paying us to put their content on. So then we won't have those issues. We have the permission to use their content. Does that make sense? Yeah. That Jim Carrey clip was actually delivered at Maharishi University, Fairfield, Iowa, in May of this year. So,
what's happened in the 2 weeks with this business since sort of weekend?
So what we worked on doing is, as you can see, we didn't necessarily have a strong design team. We had a good developer that built this website for us, and it's fully functioning. You can come out, you can check it out, you can go listen to different clips. As far as the mobile app and the actual design that we've been working on, is finding people to work with us to create a logo that looks a little better than what we have right now. But yeah, the design elements is what we're focused on. And then next, we're going to start working on the app development and then finding content, creating content there. Yeah.
Can you talk about your revenue models?
Yeah, so our revenue model, we can go back to the slide here. So it's multi-sided. The first side being motivational speakers that would pay to place the content on the site, which we talked to a couple, and they're willing to do that as marketing. So then the other side is the end user with the freemium model app, similar to what Pandora or Spotify would do, where you can listen for free if there's going to be ads, or you can pay a subscription to remove the ads, add additional features, and then unlock additional content. Is that? Sure.
Are you be using like metadata so it'll filter and suggest this speaker or that speaker according to people's preferences?
Right. So it's going to be totally category based. I think Tim sort of passed that. So you'd be able to go in, just like you can pick a channel that you put on Pandora, you can come in and pick, those types of category, the length of time that you have. We've even talked about an intensity index. So where if it's 30 seconds of like someone screaming at you, like a 10, or like a 20-minute speech where it's going to have ups and downs.
So it's learning from people's choices over time, so you have to put less input into it.
That would be awesome if we could. I'm not a developer, so I don't know, but that's a great suggestion. Yeah.
Well, being a speaker myself, and hopefully I'm motivational, I listen to a lot of TED Talks. So how are you structuring yourself to be unique away from, because I love TED Talks. And I get a lot of inspiration from those. So how are you establishing yourself as being unique away from the other things that I've, the other applications?
Yeah, where do you go to get your TED Talks?
Right to TED.
And is it
They're all there.
and you have to listen to the whole thing? Can you find like short?
I can find short little clips, yes.
Okay. YouTube too. See, we've actually talked about YouTube, people that build their own custom channels and like subscribe to different things. Then how do you notify that new content? I don't know.
Well, I think
so. You make a great point. I think what we
because I love to be
right.
educated and I'm a lifelong learner. So I would be looking for these kinds of things, but I think you need to make yourself really unique market niche in order for, because there's a lot of freebies out there
Right.
that you can obtain. But it's a great concept.
Well, I think what we talked about too is we want to make it a really streamlined approach to finding those freebies. Like when we did our own searching, it was pretty muddy as far as like finding good content, like even finding the generic links in 25 minutes.
I like to hear that again sometimes too. I didn't hear the volume channels.
Patrick, just building out on what Luann said as far as your niche, consider maybe starting with things like trade associations that are having conferences, and maybe that nature, because if you build, in a sense, a mini version of that around the speakers and what they're saying, some of those motivational speakers, it can almost like a takeaway from that conference that you can use throughout the year. So it's not like you go to the conference and it's done. But now you're hearing from those speakers for the next 6 months or whatever. And there'd be branding from that association and their sponsors on that. So in the sense of going into the masses, you're starting at really very, very niche.
That's a great idea.
Besides the conferences that James just brought up, how are you going to actually market this to everyday people? How are they going to find out about it?
That's a good question. Our marketing department's not here right now. Those are the other 5 minutes. We'll have Trevor just optimize it. Right, Trevor? Sure. Okay. We'll do. I'm just gonna go off James' idea. We're gonna go to conference and market to the people there. But no, we're still working on how we're gonna.
You haven't finished the business model yet.
In your customer discovery, how did they respond to like paying for this type of service versus just having to do those? And what were they willing to pay?
They were willing to pay about $20 for a year. So very low cost, $50 a month type of thing. And that was more predicated upon removing ads and getting additional content versus just having to do the premium type of thing.
So you're going to offer both, like the premium and then
I think we will offer both to try and get people download the app for free, and then they'll be able to unlock things through the app.
So it sounds to me like your model is predicated on your user having to actually do something. What have you done to look into the science of motivation and what people normally need? If you're not motivated already, how are you going to get motivated to get an app to motivate you? See the
Yes,
see,
I do. What we found with a lot of people when we were talking to them is that when they feel a need for motivation, they do go out and they will go out to Google and type in motivational quotes. We've looked at there's a couple of boards on places like Reddit and 4chan where it's all about motivation, where people go and have places that are posted. So people do look for motivation. The type of motivation that they need to find is a bit trickier. I don't have a good answer for that at the time, but I think that's something we look into more. How do we motivate someone to download the motivational app? I think from what we saw from our competition, that people are willing to go out to the app store and look for data quotes, when you go and you type in motivational quotes, you're going to get quote of the day, or a couple other apps like that. So people go out and they look for it, convincing them to get Motivate Me versus something else in the audio. Did that answer your question? Kind of.
Yeah, more not so much about getting the app. I'm more using it, and then what draws me into it. So I don't want to make. All I know is my own experience. So I know quotes and stuff like that. Then after a while, like so many data that stuff, I just ignore it. So it seems to me that it's wrapped around something more than just I want to get an uplifting quote or a 2-minute segment or something. How can you pull me in and wanting to go back on a regular basis to get something as opposed to some passive perspective where it comes to my phone or my tab or whatever and I look at it and or I ignore it?
That's a good question. That'd be something to think about. One idea that just came to me would be the speakers themselves. Like if you're really into the Tony Robbins scene, and when Tony Robbins has new content available, that's something to bring back in. And new content. As far as the rest of it, do you have ideas on that? I'm open to it.
Well, I guess I'll share it on this one. Is it possible to have somebody go through a process? You want to set a goal, and we'll help you through these motivational content deliveries to achieve that goal. So I have some other bigger purpose to come back on a regular basis.
We did make a conscious decision to avoid goal setting. One of the other startup weekend teams actually did just that. Insight, right? Insight is what they call them. Because there's a lot of different things out there that can get you towards that goal, towards those goals. And I think those are as much self-motivated to be putting a goal into. But I like the idea too. It's something to look at.
Well, off this question, I think like you look at others like Netflix. Not that you need motivation to watch Netflix. I don't. But I get probably once a week, once every other week, emails that's like, hey, this fits your interests. It's new. So I think that would be a relatively quick and easy kind of beginning way to continue.
And cash data on what people listen to.
Yeah, even if at the beginning it's just by your categories is all, and then maybe it learns we can talk about, but just emails and push notifications of the mobile app to get them in there. Because when I get one from Netflix, I'm like, ooh,
That's good feedback.
Okay, so I have two questions. First one, how do you get people, because some people don't even know really how to motivate themselves, so how do you solve that problem? Because they may go about it the completely wrong way. And then the other thing is, have you considered even a call to action after they watch these inspirational, motivational videos? Like, all right, you've watched this, now let's take some action here. And then if they do take that action, then there's like some reward system.
Those are good questions. I really hope my team's watching the live streams so they can capture. Do you have the chat function going too? Jared, if you're watching, help me out. Yeah, I don't know. I think those are good questions. Think about getting people to take action. So you just listen to this. Are you actually going to go work out now, or are you just?
That'll help you get good data too. Know the effectiveness.
Or you mean like a prompt, like, was that enough for you, or do you need to be motivated again?
Yeah.
Maybe if you up the intensity, the intensity level, then they just keep.
Yeah, then maybe you could suggest things like, maybe go use this fitness outlet or something.
Maybe get
Try it
ads.
other ways.
Ads that, if you want a fitness, then say,
Hey, here's the 10 years gyms to you. Which one are you going to?
yeah.
Okay. Work.
Right, so we always end each pitch with the same question. So Patrick, what do you need from the community to make this work?
Couple things. One, your feedback has been awesome. I truly appreciate appreciative of the questions and comments. Secondly, a more tangible thing today is the global startup battle is still going on. And since we were a winner at Startup Weekend, we're actually able to be in those tracks. It's really easy. You go to our motivating page, you go to the help version, ignore the impact is spelling correctly. These links will take you out to our global startup battle page, and then all you have to do is vote for us. Vote against today. Why is this click? So that'd be cool. I think you can help out with that. Otherwise, continue to support more ideas, and if you know any designers that can make a better logo, all ears. Awesome.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you. We're going to take like a 3-minute break, get some more coffee. We'll get Trevor up here. We'll get going on the next one.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Oh, yeah, they always.
Up next, we have Trevor Carlson from What to Do.
No, he's
Let's give him a clap. So, I just graduated from college. Hypothetically. I graduated from college. I just got a new job. Moved to a new city. Killing it. Got a brand new apartment. It's awesome. First night in the apartment. Kick off my shoes and I realize I don't know anybody. I don't know what to do. We all know how this night ends. Me hanging out with my cat, my box of wine, and a marathon of Friends on Netflix. So my name is Trevor Carlson, and I'm with What to Do. What we do is connect people with what to do and who to do it with. Let me show you a little bit about the app. So you log in, you select your interest. So let's say I want to play racquetball tonight. So I log in, I select sports. I create a new event, time and place, how many people I need, populates on the list, and then people can opt in or out. So if they want to play, okay, we need 2 more people, you can click yes. So through 125 customer interviews, we found that the top 5 interests that people had to do in their free time were video games, exercising, playing sports, nightlife, and family activities. So who is our first market? Our first market will be venues, for example, sports complexes, volunteer centers, stuff like that, where there's already an established community there. Our secondary market will then be focused on event coordinators and events. So revenue, our first 10,000 users, we have no revenue model whatsoever. Our focus will be on creating the best product we possibly can with the best user experience. At 10,000 users, we will then allow people to push notifications based on specific interests. At 100,000 users, we'll allow companies to advertise to specific users based on their selected interests. And at 1 million users, we will create a user profile based on selected interests and their data, collect the data, figure out who wants to buy it and how much it's worth to them. There's a lot of work to do on that part yet, so don't leave me up to that. So potential partners, we've already been in discussion with the core to advertise or to have them run a ad or a listing for their next free comic book day. So push notification would then go out to all the comic book lovers in Cedar Valley. And we're in discussions with Irish Fest in Waterloo to roll out over there, so to connect people that go to the festival with things that they're interested in. So this is the team from Startup Weekend. Yeah, we are What to Do. People want this. We're gonna make it happen. Are you in?
I have the same question. What have you done in the 2 weeks since started meeting?
Figure out who's gonna stick with the team, keep going, and then figuring out what we need to do from here on out. Kind of come up with a plan, timeline.
How many on team stayed?
4, 9.
Do you have the right mix of people on your team to continue, and if not, who are you missing?
Well, right now we need a Java developer. So that's one thing that we could really use. Other than that, I think that we're gonna try to do it ourselves for now. So.
Are you needing more capital, or do you have the skill set and resources if you're part of that one program to be able to take to the market to have a
Yeah. If we had that one programmer, then we have everything we need right now.
going to find stuff to put on there?
It's user generated stuff to begin with. So like the racquetball example, you get off work at 5, and your friends are out until 7, go off their racquetball at 5, create a racquetball event.
So when I was telling people about the Snap After Start weekend, one of the main questions I heard from other people was, how are you gonna control like the Craigslist killer issues and the creepy people through this app?
Yeah, I forgot about that. One of the first steps that we're going to do is add a Facebook integrated login. So then you'll be able to log in, see who your mutual friends are with this person that is running the event, and then you can decide from there. Eventually, we'd like to have some type of like 5-star rating system. How was your experience playing racquetball, Jeff? 5 or 1.
Good.
Show some ass.
All of a sudden, people will have ratings associated with them.
Well, I will have to figure that part out. Still doing more customer discovery, figure out the customer data.
You got 2 people that you have to track, like the actual users and the bidders. How are you going to track both?
So we have to get users first because, I mean, nobody's going to pay to advertise or anything like that with an app that has no users. So the first thing is getting users, and the best place that I've found so far that we're going to be able to do that is by targeting, start with rec centers, sportsplex, stuff like that, and get that community that's already there that they participate in activities with each other, such as sports. Get those people on there and kind of try to create some momentum, and then move to other interest areas.
Can you talk about the name?
Oh, we want to rename it. So we don't know yet. We're trying to figure that out. So if anybody is really good at or creative at coming up with names, please let me know. We'd like to do something that's like a 2-syllable word that can use as a verb. That's a unique word. So.
What differentiates it from, say, meetup?
Right. So meetup is more like formal events, and there's a monthly cost to run the event on there. This is more like informal. To start at least. So, like, I mean, you're probably not going to go on meetup and say like, who wants to have a land party in my place on Saturday?
So I'm thinking about people that are moving to new places.
Yeah.
One of my best friends is moving to Peoria and doesn't have anybody there. So if anybody knows that, let me know. But she's like, I don't know who I'm going to hang out with.
Right.
And I'm thinking that this would be a really good option for her.
Yeah.
Have you thought about that market at all?
Yep. I've talked with Danny over at the Alliance. He thinks he'd be a great fit for a lot of those. I don't know what they're called, but the groups that like bring people into the new community and hook them up with different things.
You might want to look at them on the tourism board, and we have a newcomers network.
Okay.
And so we can talk.
Okay.
That might be a way.
That'd be awesome.
When do you plan on having something for people to actually download and use?
We're really close to having that fully functioning app right now. We just have one bug in it that we have to fix. But it'd only be with those. It'd be a very, very simple, basic version. But you'd be able to log in with your email, create an event, and then opt in or out to the events.
Why do you need a Java programmer? Because all my Java programmers do
well,
programs out there for languages.
Well, Levi developed the app in Java so far. So just using the code sheets, creating the building off of that. I think that's the easiest route to go. I mean, if you have other suggestions based on other languages, I'm all ears.
I have friends who are programmers that don't know much about programming, but they think about it, that's what they learn. People ask for it.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, they paid me twice as many hours to do this stuff that makes them do something else and do it.
Yeah, I don't know, that's something I want to look into, see if there's a easier way to make it happen. Any questions?
So when I was following your guys' stuff on over Startup Weekend on social media,
Yeah.
it made it sound like you guys were going to maybe partner, like if you're in Kansas City with the Royals and you're like, oh, we have so many open seats or something like
Yeah.
that. Is we got away from that kind of?
No, that's just more of, like, that's not gonna be our initial
Okay.
focus. I mean, is, you know, for somebody like the Royals to wanna do that, you have to have a user base.
Yeah.
So that's like the biggest thing is,
So that's kind of that 1 million.
yeah, once you know, those are just, you know, one, past the first tier, the other two are just really arbitrary, because that could change based on growth and experience. So, and the numbers are arbitrary too, you know, it could be 5,000 users, it could be 50,000 for the first tier.
Are you rolling out market by market? Like, are you starting with the wireless your follow you and I
Yeah, that's,
area?
yep.
And then you have like a growth strategy?
Just the only growth strategy we have right now is to get the app out here. And then I think we're gonna make a kind of develop a plan. So I don't know what that is yet, but that's one of the first steps.
It's just a random idea, so take it or leave it, but it'd be kind of cool, at least from a personal standpoint, like you go to these big conferences and stuff, and there's all these different sessions, you don't know which one to go to.
Right.
So like if you enter your interest up front and it tells you which sessions to go to.
Right.
Kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm meeting with somebody about that next 2 weeks from now, for like using that as something like EntreFest or Irish Fest would be another example. So.
Partner with like admissions about, you know, when there's freshman orientation about the different things maybe going on campus.
Yeah.
During, and I mean, also I guess you have to do is have one of their people that do that. But
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good idea, especially when you're starting to roll, or when we start to roll it out, because then you get a lot of new people that have just moved to town, like you said. And I think that when I was a freshman, I probably missed out on a lot of stuff that I didn't know about, because, you know, it can be kind of a pain to search for everything, or you have to pick which one of the flyers that you want to read. And, you know, you might be missing out on some really cool stuff. Any other questions?
Are you doing any of the global startup battles?
No. Nope. We were a bit worn out after the weekend, so.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So if I'm having an event, do I just go on and create a profile?
Yeah, yep.
Okay. So really anybody can go on and create.
Yeah.
something. You're not selling it to one particular.
Nope. No, that's why we have multiple interests, because,
Okay.
I mean, I know I like to do different things, like I like to exercise, but I also like to play video games. So that's why we're not just saying like, okay, well, you can only find sports stuff on here, or this on there. I know it's kind of
Oh, no.
targets a large market, but that answer your question? Cool.
Are you gonna let people create their own categories? Like, what if I spell racquetball differently than someone else spells racquetball?
That's one thing we got to figure out is how far we're gonna go, because that has been brought up before. So, you know, it'd be nice if we could just let everyone have free reign, create whatever they want, but at the same time, people could probably run a little haywire with that. So, anybody else? Josh?
All right, well, that's all the questions we have. Final question, Trevor, what do you need from
You know, if you're connected with any of these groups, like you said, that this could benefit you in any way, talk to me after I get done up here, and then if you're really creative and you can help come up with a name, that'd be awesome. That's our first step, is renaming it. We're gonna meet this week and figure out exactly when that's gonna happen. Yeah, maybe.
Thanks, Trevor. So we're just gonna have Taylor from Kaufman share a few thoughts.
Hey guys, thank you so much for letting me be here today. This is my first time in Cedar Valley and very impressed. Just
going to talk a little bit about the Kauffman Foundation and 1 Million Cups. Are you guys all familiar with the Kauffman Foundation? If you're not, okay. So we are headquartered in Kansas City, and our founder, Ewing Kauffman, who I'm sure some of you have heard of, he started a pharmaceutical company years and years ago, way before I was even around, in his basement, actually. And the reason he started it is because he was working for another pharmaceutical company and was actually making more than the president off of his commission. So the president put him at a cap. He was like, I'm not doing this anymore. This is ridiculous. So he started a pharmaceutical company in his basement, literally crushing up oyster shells and then making them into pills. Total stuff that the FDA wouldn't approve anymore. But, you know, so he started in his basement, and it was called Marion Lab. And he called it that because he didn't want people thinking that there was just one man working for the company. So, and then eventually he got out of his basement and just created a really strong culture at Marion Labs. And then eventually he sold it and just made millionaires out of regular Joes. And so he wanted to give back to the community in another way. And so he brought the Kansas City Royals to KC as well. And then in the 60s, you know, he'd done a lot for Kansas City, but wanted to do something very different. So he started the foundation. And we're focused on two things, education and entrepreneurship. So we have a research and policy team who puts out a lot of great content around research for education and entrepreneurship. I personally am on the entrepreneurship team and get to run a really cool program called 1 Million Cups. 1 Million Cups was started 2 years ago, and it was started with really no intention of scaling into other cities. We really just started it because being the foundation of entrepreneurship, we didn't really know our backyard of entrepreneurs very well, and that was a problem. So we started going out into the community and hanging out with the entrepreneurs and noticed that they were hanging out with each other, but they weren't really talking about what they were working on. And if they did, they weren't articulating that message very well across industries. So we created a platform for them to come in, a safe space, if you will, for them to come in and just talk about their story, to use analogies and metaphors to properly relay that message. And so they would get up in front of the audience and just be like, hey, here's what we're working on. Here's what we think we're doing well. This is what we don't think we're doing well. We could be wrong. Will you give us advice and feedback on it? So it's not a pitch. A lot of people are like, oh, so it's like a pitch, like it's like Shark Tank. And it's like, well, we're giving presentations, but we're not up here asking for money. That may be a result of the presentation. There may be an investor in the audience, but that's not our intention. Our intention is to crowdsource from the community. And so at our first 1 Million Cups, there were 12 people in the room. 75% of those people were Kauffman employees. So whenever we have a new city launch, they're like, we only had 10 people there. We're like, that's totally fine. That's how many people we had at our first event. 2 years later, we get around 250 people. So it has grown rapidly. So every week we have 2 companies present. They give a 6-minute presentation, and then there's 20 minutes of Q&A, as you guys have seen. The reason that we do the 20 minutes of Q&A is because that's more important than the company actually being up here. The advice that companies get from you guys, from the community, is really important. It's free for them. So that's one of the things about this program too that I hope personally is that we will never charge people to be here. That's kind of how we differentiate ourselves. So at the beginning of the year, like I said, we had no intention of scaling, but then Des Moines, Iowa reached out to us and said, hey, we want this thing in our city. So we were like, all right, I guess we could put a model behind it. So we created a model, and then they launched in 2012. And then in 2013, we scaled it into 19 more cities. Houston was our 3rd one. And then this year, we scaled it from 21 cities to 67 with 2 people on our team. So it's just grown like wildfire. Yes, we definitely have pain points. We're like a startup, except we're backed by a $2.2 billion foundation, so we're a little different. but we do have pain points like a startup. So that's a little bit about the program. If you guys have questions, I'd love to take them, or I'll talk to you afterwards. I'll stick around. My flight's at 3 because apparently there's only 2 flights out. You guys have an airport. I mean, that's a big deal. That's awesome. So yeah, you should feel very happy about that. But great group of organizers here. Really impressed by this campus and how you guys have created such a strong platform and the ability to connect with the rest of the community. That doesn't really happen a lot. Usually it's college and then community, and the two don't always talk to each other. So I'm just really impressed by that. But does anybody have questions? All right. Well, thank you.
So that's it for today. We're going to wrap up. December 10th, Alyssa.
Yes, next week, we have Apathy by Tracy and Simple Connections with our strategy.
All right, so come back. See you next week. Otherwise, there's more coffee. Feel free to hang out. Thanks for coming, everybody.